I'm not sure who you are, but you strike me as a gutsy individual. After all, you chose to date a Scorpio man. Brilliant! Because just having the courage to put up with the Scorpio guy is half the fight. And while some individuals dismiss astrology entirely, understanding your man's zodiac sign can help you better understand his personality and behavior. Let's find out how to date a Scorpio man and understand his fairly difficult love language. Whether you are in the early stages of dating a Scorpio guy or intend to ask one out in the future, this video will help you understand the process. Let's get started with deciphering the most complicated, intense, enigmatic, and guarded of the zodiac signs. 1. He is not an open book. Have you noticed how your Scorpio friend keeps his Instagram profile secret and his personal life quiet? In a world obsessed with oversharing, the Scorpio's curiosity is amplified by the lack of information. Include this in your Scorpio male dating style guide. Given that you are born under one of the most perilous zodiac signs, you appear to like taking on new challenges. My closest friend says that it's common for women to develop a crush on a Scorpio man, which she attributes to their inherently intriguing personality. With that stated, one simple approach to identify a Scorpio man is to seek for the person in the room who hasn't spoken anything yet exudes a strong defining vibe. As we begin with these dating advice for Scorpio men, a pattern of concealment will become increasingly obvious. It is critical for you to understand that he will not reveal everything with you, perhaps ever. Scorpios like to keep certain of their secrets private, which is not always an indication that a Scorpio guy is fooling you. A Scorpio can't help but be enigmatic and secretive, and if you're dating a Scorpio, keep in mind that he might be quite dubious of others. I understand what you're thinking. Isn't it odd that they are the most secretive of the zodiac signs? Yes, it is, but what can I say except that he cherishes his privacy? Does this imply that the secrecy will continue indefinitely and that he will never disclose anything with you? Of course not. I merely urge that you be patient if you want to get to know your Scorpio man. Don't expect him to open up to you immediately. If you do, he will bolt for the hills. As you give him the time and space he needs to feel comfortable with you, he will begin to expose new pieces of himself to you. Whether you're an eager Aries woman in love, you might be wondering whether you can speed up the process. The answer is yes. Demonstrate your trustworthiness and tell your Scorpio guy that you will keep his information secure. The sooner he recognizes this, the more he will be able to trust you. And as you're getting to know him, try not to be too curious about his personal life. Make sure you don't take advantage of the knowledge he shares. Or you risk completely destroying your relationship with this one simple error. 2. He is sensitive, intuitive, and committed to a fault. Yes, this mystery man may be hesitant to commit to you, but when he does, he falls deeply in love. His love and loyalty are a manifestation of his strong personality. Many individuals only grasp the emotional intensity of a Scorpio guy after they have started dating him. If you missed the message, let me state it clearly: your Scorpio guy is incredibly sensitive to his emotions. He really experiences his sensations. Your Scorpio man's love is neither shallow or circumstantial, instead, it is profound, transforming, and intense. Not all guys love as fiercely as they do. Thus, your Scorpio boo is the most caring and loving ideal spouse. Every time he has to make a big choice, I want you to note how he relies on his great intuition. Because of his go-getting mindset, your man's zodiac sign is likely to be affluent and prosperous. You'll also be amazed by how foresight he is about any issue involving himself or his loved ones. These are insights on topics that many people overlook. Your Scorpio guy has a lot of emotional depth, and he's not going to give it away easy. If you're asking how to date a Scorpio man who is afraid of commitment, I'd want to emphasize that he is afraid of commitment since he seldom receives what he provides. So, before committing to you, it's reasonable for him to test the waters. It's really better this way because it allows you to determine whether you can manage this passionate man with all of his passion and intensity. When you date a Scorpio man, you never have to worry about his dedication to you. I'm not saying Scorpio guys don't cheat, but once he's exposed himself to a certain level of vulnerability, you're all he wants and he won't hunt for romance somewhere else. Scorpio is one of the most compassionate of the zodiac signs. He will constantly be extra pleasant to you, assisting you wherever possible, and he will go out of his way to do so whenever you require it. Once the exclusive tag is added, your Scorpio guy will be an excellent match for you if you seek deep and passionate love. 3. Hey, that's mine for keeps. It hears the title precisely as you do. This is a typical Scorpio guy dating conduct that you should know about. Once your Scorpio guy begins to open up to you, you are his to keep, at least in that stage of life. Even though Scorpio men make excellent spouses, here's a spoiler: he will most likely be envious of other guys in your life. Just be cautious about hugs with your best man buddy lasting too long. Perhaps he is suspicious of that male coworker you chat to all the time. It is commonly recognized that a Scorpio's relationship with their lover may be borderline obsessive, although it is one of the indicators that a Scorpio guy is interested in you. It might cause problems in your relationship. Jealousy and possessiveness combined with a man who is extremely emotional can lead to a poisonous relationship. I know this because my closest friend's ex was a Scorpio, and I witnessed him accuse my buddy of things he had not done. If you find yourself in a scenario like this, be open with him and show him that there is nothing to worry about. Since you've taken on the bold task of figuring out your Scorpio guy's dating style, and if this is your first time interacting with a Scorpio man, everything might be confusing. Fear not, there is an explanation for all of this jealousy, and there are several strategies to deal with it in relationships. The reality is that once your boyfriend is committed to you and the relationship, he can't bear the thought of losing you to someone else, especially after he's opened out to you. What about all the secrets he's revealed? You can't just walk away with them now, can you? I hope you're able to put the puzzle together now. As a result, a Scorpio guy will be hesitant to commit to you, but if the relationship takes off, even someone sitting next to you at a coffee shop might pique his envy. My purpose in saying all of this is not to terrify you. It's vital to me that you get the opportunity to determine for yourself whether you're comfortable with all of his continual attention. Dating a Scorpio guy might make you happy if you prefer a dynamic in which your spouse is actively involved. But be aware that it is not for everyone. Having a sense of control would make your Scorpio guy very pleased. However, if you are the type of person who enjoys controlling the power dynamic in relationships, dating a Scorpio man may cause some difficulty. In such scenario, you might wish to learn how each zodiac sign expresses love and choose which sign you are most suited with. 4. Expect a thrilling sex life. Your Scorpio man has an intense sexual desire. He sees sex and love as synonymous. Although not all Scorpios are sex-obsessed, sexual magnetism is fundamental to the majority of them. Pust. Not many people realize that Scorpio is the most explosive zodiac sexual compatibility. For a Scorpio, more than any other sign in the zodiac, sex and love are synonymous, and neither can exist without the other. I say this from personal experience, since I had an ex who was a Scorpio. It was a touchy-feely relationship. What shall I say? This was classic Scorpio dating behavior. Have you noticed how much he enjoys touching you every time he gets? Whether it's a meal or a movie date. Your Scorpio guy will always have his sensuous side switched on. A Scorpio man's dating style is characterized by his passionate and assertive attitude in the world and in bed with a love partner. Are you in the beginning stages of dating a Scorpio? Not sure what to anticipate in bed or how to go about it? So, here's the only suggestion you need: let him take the lead in bed, and don't worry too much, he'll make you feel wonderful. If you're nervous since this is your first time, talk about it and figure out what pace works best for you. Before I go any further, I'd want to clear up some prevalent misconceptions regarding Scorpio males and their sexual relationships. This one is to reassure individuals who believe a Scorpio guy may abandon the relationship if his demands are met elsewhere. This is the furthest thing from the truth. Sex for him is not an afterthought in a relationship. Having a fling every now and then is not typical of Scorpio male dating practice. The misperception originates from the belief that sex is the most essential aspect of a relationship to them. If a Scorpio guy is hooked to you, raw physical connection will be an essential aspect of the relationship. That, too, is not in a self-centered manner, since sex is a bonding activity for him. Are you the type of person who prefers passionate sex in a relationship over simple vanilla? Then dating a Scorpio man is the finest thing you could have done for yourself, period. After you've heard these dating suggestions for Scorpio men, check out this sex games video to spice up your sex life with him. 5. He is curious to the point of being nosy. Losing sight of where you begin and where your lover ends can be seductive, but it makes it difficult to create appropriate limits. It also stifles personal development in favor of maintaining a partnership. If you're dating a Scorpio man long distance, this might be a frequent issue. This dating technique for Scorpio men is rarely discussed. Your Scorpio guy feels so deeply about his relationship with you that he may engage in destructive conduct. If he had his way, he would completely join souls with his lover, you. Jealousy is not necessarily a bad energy. Have you ever considered whether healthy jealousy helps your relationship? When dating a Scorpio guy, I recommend that you try creating limits and making him understand the importance of respecting them. You should not tell a Scorpio guy that he is being invasive in his face, otherwise he may become suspicious of you. Instead, approach him from a position of mutual benefit. There's a reason Scorpios are considered the most hardest zodiac sign to date. Your Scorpio guy will have difficulties distinguishing between me and us in a relationship since he views you two as one. It's just not sustainable in the long term. All he wants is to be your go-to guy for any aid he thinks you require. However, his inclination to say, "Once I set my eyes on it, its mine," should not express itself in the relationship. Otherwise, the levels that define a good partnership would be broken. If your personal space is being invaded and you are uncomfortable, you should talk plainly with him about ways to make more space for differences, as well as discussing and respecting boundaries within the relationship. 6. About that Scorpion tale though, when you looked up these dating guidelines for Scorpio guys, you accepted to learn even the most painful realities about dating a Scorpio. At this time, the pattern I stated at the beginning of this movie will have finished itself. Be aware of his deceitful behavior and furious Scorpion tale. Allow me to clarify what I mean. So your Scorpio sweetie is emotionally passionate, dedicated to a fault, possessive of his loved ones, and, most importantly, he understands he makes a fantastic companion. When things don't go his way, he works hard to get them back on track, if only for himself. Manipulation comes easily to him, he is a natural strategist, and he finally gets his way. He will play the blame game if it helps him do so, and you will be left wondering what you did wrong. Scorpios are considered expert manipulators of the zodiac signs. He has a manipulative temperament and likes to maintain double standards. For example, he will always appreciate his privacy, but that will alter if he suspects you are lying. He may engage in inappropriate activity like spying on your phone or personal stuff, while finding any breach of his own privacy appalling. This is not fair to you, of course, which is why I feel the need to emphasize it again. Establish boundaries when you find yourself in a scenario like this while dating a Scorpio guy. The best way to accomplish this is to establish these firm boundaries early on in the relationship. I just found that setting boundaries is necessary to strengthen a relationship. An angry Scorpio is a vindictive Scorpio. You don't want to be in his bad books because if he discovers that he has been wronged, he will go to great lengths to repay you. Revenge is a dish best served cold, he'll mutter to himself while plotting your demise. The furious Scorpion tale will sting you when you are least expecting it. I am confident that now that you have learned about the crucial dating characteristics of a Scorpio guy, you will put these insights to good use. And if you have a buddy who is dating a Scorpio man, send them this essay for some peace of mind.